Hey friends, I'm Kaylee Nixon.
And I'm John Nixon.
And we are the Nixon Pack, and here are 5 things you might not know about us. Has anybody asked you if you are a hoarder?
No, that's your department.
Yes. So a lot of times people wonder why the heck we have 5 dogs or how on earth it came to be that we have 5 dogs. Do you know?
I wonder it every morning, sometimes at night and 3 times during the day.
When I was still in college, we rescued our first dog, Jolie. You might have seen her all over our Instagram page. She is the love of our lives, our first fur baby.
She was a puppy mill rescue dog, and fast forwarding, she just went to the vet about 2 years ago, and they said, oh, how old is she? Like 2 or 3 years old? And we're like, no, more like 13. 14. The woman goes, well, what do you mean? There's no wear on her paws. Somebody carried her for the first 10 years.
So yes, she actually came to class with me in college. We've taken her everywhere. She has moved literally like every dorm room, every apartment, every home, here, Albany, Chicago, and back again. She has been with us the whole ride, and we're forgetting the rest of them. We have 4 others. We love them all the same.
But I also just thought about school when she mentioned school. It's where I got her.
College sweethearts, you're right.
It wasn't, high school would have been inappropriate.
So as we got out of college and we had already rescued Jolie, it was like, oh, but what's one more? She's lonely. When we're at work, she needs a friend.
The goal was to get a Great Dane for this guy, the Chihuahua for her. We thought it would be funny, but we try not to purchase a dog. We want to rescue a dog.
Adopt, don't shop.
We were in Albany, New York, and we went to get a bagel. And who doesn't go get a bagel and take home 2 dogs? Come on, why not? Side of cream cheese.
So there was this litter of little puppies, and they were rescue dogs from Hurricane Katrina. They were in FEMA trailers down in Louisiana, and we saw these 2 little puppies, the biggest one and then the runt, and we couldn't decide which one we wanted to foster, right? Because we weren't going to take them both home.
And so they said foster one, and then we tried to give my father one for Father's Day, and then we were going to give one to Grandpa for Grandpa's Day. I don't know. We were trying everything, and then I knew what was going to happen. We failed. So we lived in an apartment at the time. We didn't.
Teeny tiny little apartment.
We didn't own a house.
3 dogs.
Not supposed to have a dog. One of them. Not even the little
2
4-pounder.
lab mixes growing by the day. Accidents, happening because puppies. And
so we'll get to that because that's, I think, a different question that we need to answer.
Yes.
Of why we got into the homes, but we went from 1 to 3. Why not? We go to actually, this is weird. They're all tied to homes.
They are.
We go to number 4, it was because we got another house. I came home from work. Kaylee had a nice roast cooking on the stove. She doesn't eat meat, so I don't know why she had a roast. But she said, I went to the vet today and there's a dog that's going to get euthanized if we don't save her. Well, what can we do? Come on. Like, I have a shot. We got in the car and we went and grabbed her.
Burned the roast. That's all right. We got Lady. And then last but not least, we have Chancellor, our boxer. He is so darn sweet. John and I were working at an adoption event volunteering, and we were in charge of Chance. And he was just this like silly, crazy dog, but he has these thick black scars down the side of his body because he was used as a bake dog down south, which means like a fight, like in a fighting ring.
Let's not bring this down.
I know, so sad. But not a downer. We rescued him right before Valentine's Day. I surprised John with his adoption papers, and he is our first and only boy dog, and he was the last member of the pack.
And that was the upper for me.
Yes.
Jolie, female. Matilda, female. Stella, female. Lady, female. Chance, male.
Yes, and he is very much
and
a
it's
daddy's
Chancellor,
boy.
by the way, sorry.
Chancellor, yes, that's right. But it is funny because that, I believe, is where our love of homes came, isn't it?
Yes.
Like our love of houses, our love of real estate, because having 3 dogs in a tiny little apartment caused me to collect bugs outside and turn them into our landlord. Like, we've got a bug problem, we need to get out of our lease. And that's how we got our first house.
Throwback to the hoarder.
Back.
She has bugs.
And then when we moved to Chicago, we had to get a home with a roof deck. We put pet grass on top of our roof on our townhome so that all 5 of our dogs could have a yard. And then we felt bad because the roof deck was getting a little like smelly. So we bought another house in Chicago with a real yard,
because
which was like
smelly
a big
roof deck?
because of the dogs. So it's funny how
Hey, if your car needs tires, just sell it.
I don't get that. I don't get that one.
We didn't sell the house because it smelled. We sold the house because it needed a little bit more room.
Oh,
Plus,
sure. There were many reasons.
We had an addition to the pack that was coming. He's upstairs right now.
The great. That's
playing
right.
with
The
the 5
real,
dogs.
the
He's
human
fine.
baby.
He's got milk bones all over the place.
Do you remember why we got into real estate?
Well, when I went in front of the judge, he gave me 2 options. It was either a 6-month sentence or get into real estate.
Oh my, John, that's not true. So the truth, why?
Rehab? Real
Stop!
estate.
He
Oh.
doesn't have any problems. I mean, outwardly like that.
Chemical imbalance,
Chemical
maybe.
problems.
So go ahead again. Why did
I
you?
was in college.
Yeah.
You had just graduated.
This is all going back to college.
I know. So
I'm
my
sorry.
dad, my dad was a real estate guru for 44 years in California. He started in New York, and then in California, he really made an extraordinary name for himself. He was a mentor. He was a manager. He was a broker owner. He was just extraordinary, and I learned so much from him because when I was 16, I was actually working his open houses, translating for Spanish-speaking clients because that was my major
How
in
old
school.
were you?
I was 16.
Are you supposed to be doing anything with real estate under the age of 18?
I don't know what California law is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Anywho,
Loophole.
in college, you know, who's not a broke college kid, right? I certainly was, and so was he. So I sold him this bill of goods that we were going to be like millionaires.
First year.
First year, we were going to make $1 million
gonna swim in it.
in real estate. So we both took the class together. How old was I? 19, 20?
This is really going to make people start looking up age-appropriate types. 18, 19.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So we got our real estate license, and we were in Albany at the time. Actually, we both graduated from Siena in Loudonville. So we joined Coldwell Banker Prime Properties there, and I just will never forget that experience. Don't you? That just shaped us as a couple. I think working together right off the bat as a team, we were definitely that cheese ball real estate team. Without
Yeah,
a
so
doubt.
I had my clothes that I had from an internship when I was in college.
Yeah.
They were internship
You know,
clothes. I had no
those
idea.
pants with like the
Whoa.
what are those called?
Couple
What-
pleats, why not?
Pleats. He had several pleats in his pants. He was sharp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice little dress trench coat,
Yeah.
well, this little winter coat for the.
And you really liked brown. I
Appropriate.
remember where you wore a lot of brown.
Wow, really getting into it. So, want to talk about Kaylee's clothing? Kaylee, and this is, I mean, this could go, I hope. Kaylee had like a knee-high stocking one day.
I
don't
thought
know
that's
why you
what
would
you
have
were
knee-high. By the way,
supposed to
this is
wear.
that, like, this people, ooh, knee-high stock. No, it was
I
just.
thought that's what you were supposed to wear when you were professional. Like my grandma wore those those knee-high stockings.
So
You
we
know
were
what I'm
working a
talking
nice
about.
long day and things started just giving out. The tension started wearing away and things were dropping. Well, Kaylee had to run out of the office one day with them just flopping around her ankles like a pair of
And
track
they
socks.
literally chased me out. The older agents like chased me out, laughing hysterically, and I didn't want to go back to work the next
Right.
day. You remember?
I don't know
that?
how we got into that part of the real estate,
Anyway.
but we were supposed to make $1 million. We didn't make $1
We
million.
did not. We could barely pay for groceries, but we had a lot of fun. We learned a lot, and I think that's where our hunger came from, our drive, especially the ability to relate to all of our clients and our friends and respecting their money as if it was our own.
And you respect it a lot when you're at the grocery store totaling what you're going to have before you get up to the register.
We were there for sure.
And then
Womp womp.
we found $1 million. No, we didn't.
But yeah, that's how we got into that. I miss those days.
And now, so far, we've been in Albany, Syracuse,
Yep.
Chicago, back to Syracuse. We've had licenses in New York and Illinois.
Still do.
Yeah, and still do, but that's our sickness. I have multiple sicknesses, but one of them that we enjoy is real estate.
And I think that's where our love for home renovations came too, because we couldn't afford to hire anybody. So it was either learn and do it yourself or don't do it. And that's another part of working together that we really love.
And she doesn't wear stocking hosiery, as
No,
Grandma likes
hosiery's
to
out.
call it, hosiery anymore.
Do you know what this is?
I do, I hate it.
He hates it. This is called do-closing. I coined that term. Actually, I didn't coin that term. The woman who did it kind of coined it. She just didn't know it. So
We owe
there
her
was
money
this
now.
trainer who we learned from. She was a mentor to us in our very early days of real estate. And
A magician never shows his
I'll
tricks.
show you my tricks. I love showing my tricks. We are like
That's-
open book, right?
I'm
Open
gonna leave
book.
it alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Right. So this is the idea. If we walk up to your house and we're like, oh wow,
No, that's not.
This is do
That's not
closing.
do closing.
I always do
Okay,
close.
Kaylee walks up to a house when you get out of the car. Anyone comes to visit. If it's a family member, that's one thing. But if it's anything else, you always walk up and because you never know if they're in the
Wow.
window. So
Do you
Kaylee,
guys
it
see
used
the
to
shrubs? It looks so nice.
every house we would go to for a
Yes.
listing, or this is
A
gonna. I
listing,
can't wait.
a renovation project,
When
whatever.
we come to your house,
I'll be do
look
closing.
out the window.
Yes.
And
See,
Kayla would
that's
be
a
like,
trick.
Those shutters are great, and I used to do this. He'd be like, "You should just shut it."
And
I
he
don't-
would
I
say the
don't-
most inappropriate things as we're walking up to get a
I
listing.
never
It's like a
would do
big
that.
moment, right? And you're like, you're really
Never.
wanting to impress these people. And I'm like, wow, look, the front door, the curb appeal, it's amazing. And John's like, well, what did you do this morning? And it's just.
Well,
No,
we
I
won't
don't-
we won't give the full name, but there was a great female that trained us.
Yes.
We'll call her Mrs. Duclos.
Mary Beth Duclos.
You just said her freaking. Okay, when
don't have
you're
any
at the table
secrets.
and you're going to get into that contract and you're going to try to let the people know that you are the right one to list their home,
Yeah.
you are going to take them from from the start to the finish. All you got
You
to
want
do
to
is
set
say,
the tone.
you want us
You want us
to
to
make
list
sure we
your
take
house.
care of your house, right?
We're going to take really good care of you.
Do you want to interview 15 agents, or do
Sounds
you
like a
want to get the
robot,
ones
huh?
that are here? Do you see this? It's all on automatic. Keep
Okay,
closing.
so that's one of John's pet peeves that I do. But so now that you unleashed that pet peeve,
It's like a bobblehead.
I would like to say a pet peeve of mine.
Welcome to the baseball
You're
park.
very inappropriate, sometimes to a fault,
Sorry.
but sometimes you really lighten the mood, and I love it. So it's like one of those bifold sort of things. Like, I love it about you, and sometimes I'm like, come on, can't we be serious?
I recommend that every couple sets up multiple lights and cameras on each other and then talks about how they feel
Therapy.
about each other.
Thank you for coming.
This
Are you
is
guys on
great.
a comfy couch?
How much? $300 an hour?
Okay. No, but it's really nice, and our clients love that about you because you're habitually everybody's favorite. Like in everything that we do, you are the favorite because you are funny and you lighten the mood.
Well, then this
and
answers
it's
the
nice.
question.
It's
Everyone
very
wonders
nice.
why Kaylee is with John. We know it's not for this, okay?
Yes.
There's other reasons why people are with people.
That's inside your heart, son,
There's
right?
money, there's other things. I got the laughter.
Yes,
okay?
you sure
I
do.
try to keep
What's
it
a
light.
favorite quality about me?
Your eyebrows.
Spilled me. You know, John.
I love 'em.
See, do you see this?
You're my best friend.
Thank you.
You have been.
Yes.
Ever since I threw you in the back of my white van
Ride or
at
die.
college. No. You're my number one. I couldn't live without you. Plus, you're a lot smarter than me.
So, all the time we get asked if Gray's name is really Gray, if it's short, or if it's Grayson. No, it's just Gray.
It is short. I mean, it's 4 letters.
I like that. And he can spell it. He's 2 and he can spell his name. He gets so proud. And we refer to him as Gray the Great because he truly is the greatest joy of our lives. He is unbelievable. But people want to know the story behind Gray, and John and I have 2 very different stories. So I'll tell you mine first.
No, I just like to know what the story is.
He never says anytime people ask him, he's like, I don't know, you have to ask Kaylee. So I'll tell you. My dad passed away unexpectedly before we got pregnant with Gray, and actually we were trying, he didn't know, but we were thinking about having a baby and wanting very much to have a baby. Quick sidebar story that is just super funny. The last time I saw my dad, it was actually mine and John's anniversary, and he was telling somebody that someday we were gonna have kids and that we had already picked out the name. And I was right there, but he was telling the story as if I was not there. And he's like, oh, they already have the name picked out. It's gonna be Ronald Reagan.
You just do close them.
Yep. It's gonna be Ronald Reagan or Reagan Nixon. Our last name is
name's
Nixon.
Nixon. I checked.
Reagan Nixon. And I'm like, no, it isn't, Dad. And he's like, oh yeah, that's a great name. And that's because when I was born, my mom said if I was a girl, she was choosing my name. If I was a boy, my dad could choose my name. And my dad said, awesome, it's gonna be Ronald Reagan. My maiden name is Race.
Your mom
So
already knew you were a girl, right?
she already knew I was a girl. So it was gonna be Ronald Reagan Race. My dad was like set on it. He was so excited about it. So then when he thought we were eventually gonna have a kid, he wanted it to be named Reagan Nixon.
So then we were just going
sorry,
to do like
Gray.
Jefferson or Lincoln
Yes.
as his middle
Yeah,
name.
I
and
mean, we're really
just get
going
him
for
set
it.
up. Reagan,
But-
Lincoln, Nixon.
Yes. So though,
Poor
you know,
kid.
yeah, we
He's
did.
already
we
going
didn't
to
go
be
that far.
screwed up. Look at this.
So because my dad died unexpectedly, obviously I was in like a sad place. And I don't know if you guys have heard that song, You Are My Sunshine When Skies Are Gray.
Well, if they live in
And-
America, you probably know the song.
So that is the story behind Gray's name because he is our sunshine when our skies were so gray, and he's just that ball of sunshine. And John's like, well, why didn't you name him Sunshine? Well, wouldn't that be interesting? So
I'd like to name our son after a depressing song.
no, it's not depressing. It's a joyous thing. He came out of
You
a
are my
sad time.
sunshine, my only sunshine.
You make me happy. We gotta cut this part
When
out.
skies are
This voice, nobody wants to hear this voice.
Depressing gray.
It's not depressing. Do you know that gray is the most intelligent color? So there are all of these quotes that I was reading about the name Gray.
And she puts them on her letterboard upstairs, so if you
do.
want to refer to Instagram, you'll see all of them.
But really, there's so much behind Gray that we love, and not to mention we love the color. We also love that it couldn't be shortened, and his middle name is after my dad, Mitchell. Gray
Oh, I
Mitchell
just had
Nixon.
fun. Instagram, insert here. Ooh, did you see that?
I didn't see that.
I saw
Something
it.
slide in?
No, it's right here. Try it. Go like this. Yep.
I can't.
Okay, so Gray. Also, where do we go when we go to a house renovation? Go to the paint color at Sherwin-Williams, Lowe's, Home Depot, Benjamin Moore. I forget all the rest of you. I'm
Fairwind
sorry.
Ball. Yeah.
What's
That's
that
a
one?
fancy one.
Whoa! We're repainting this weekend. It's gray, ladies and gentlemen. It's our favorite color. When Kaylee was on TV, I don't know if anyone knew that, she used to wear high def colors.
Yeah.
This is kind of actually
Kind of high def.
Well,
You're very high
I used to be able to go into her closet without any lights on and be like, I need sunglasses because everything was bright as can be.
A big, huge rainbow.
Then when she stopped being on every day for
Yeah.
TV at least, went black and white. It was like I thought we were
Black,
going to a
white,
funeral
gray,
all
yes.
the time. Then she transitioned
I was
into
rebelling
gray.
against the rainbow.
Yes.
Little goth face. It wasn't goth though.
Can we mention Skittles? Because I feel like you went against the
I
rainbow.
didn't say taste the rainbow. I said against the rainbow.
Okay, sorry, we get off on this. Our son's name's Gray Mitchell Nixon. Mitchell after Grandpa, who passed away, and we love his name. And if anyone
love
calls him Grayson, I might not look like I'm
Not
a
that
shaved
the name
still.
Grayson
I
is
am.
bad, but
I'm gonna
it's
have to
just not
take you
his
out.
name. His name is Gray.
His name's Gray, okay? And it's with an E, because
G-R-E-Y.
I think it's European. We like to be fancy, if you can't tell.
Very fancy.
Gray.
So looking ahead to this year, is there something in particular you like really want to put out there that you want to do? Is there something you've been like that's been marinating up in your head that you really want to do this year?
I was thinking the pitter patter of another set of feet on the floor.
I wasn't thinking that.
No, me neither, but I thought
Oh my gosh,
I'd
John, why do you do this to me?
5 dogs, 1 little crazy animal. We're okay right now.
Yeah. Okay, whew, it took me back.
Gotcha.
Let me
What do you want to do this year? I was thinking
get
we just do
myself
some
together.
mulch.
Mulch. I'm sure you'll stop at mulch. This is the funny thing you might not know about John, or you may if you watch Insta stories every weekend. If he sits down, we recently had the flu and we were like bedridden and he was just chomping at the bit, you could tell. If we sit down for 5 minutes, he feels like guilty and he needs to get up and hammer something or demo a bathroom just unexpectedly because he decided to and didn't even tell me, and all of a sudden I hear just like a crowbar. So,
At least it's not on our head.
so
No, yeah, I can't sit down.
So you
yeah.
really like, you're just
What
you're
do I
doing
look
everything.
forward to?
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah.
And nothing. I gotta always want to. We're gonna finish the basement, but I don't want to do that before we redo a master. These are our home projects.
We're
These
looking
aren't
at
projects
flips
for, yeah.
right now on the east side of town, which is super exciting. We're kind of honing in on exactly what we want to do. Of course, I've always got my dream boards mapped out. I know exactly what finishes I'm going to be putting in there, so we're raring to go. And my dream project, since you asked, is I would really like to build.
What's yours going to be? What would you want to do this year?
I would like to build a dream house in the backyard. Like, it's going to be kind of twofold. One side is going to be my she shed where I can do all of my potting and planting. We're going to have Gray's garden, a big, huge garden
Can
out
you
in
remember
front.
where you were?
Yeah.
Garden out front.
Yeah.
We
Not
can't
in the
blow by
front, in the
a
back.
she shed.
She shed.
What is that?
In case you haven't heard of a she shed, this is like, this is, you know how they have like the man's shed with a lawnmower and all sorts of like smelly things in it? A she shed is something that is designed as almost like an extension of your home.
We hang our socks up in there.
No, you don't hang
The
your
man should.
This is-
I guess we just stink.
No, you don't. No, you know what I'm talking
All those
about.
man things that just stink.
No. But a she shed is filled with flowers and like fancy things, and it's just a place where you can have your tea, read your book, maybe meditate, do a little yoga. It sounds like my dream, and I'd really like you to build me one. Heck, I'll build my own. I can't wait. Yes, I will.
Not
I'm
saying that
learning
you
to
couldn't
use
build
the
your
saw
own.
man.
You already know. If you'll do that, can I have the she shed? Let me get on it. We go get the nails in the wood.
But
I just don't know what.
we're very fortunate to have 7 acres out back, and there's 35 behind that, 35 Forever Wild. So it's just, we've got all this land, and we really want to do some pretty cool things with it. Oh my gosh, which reminds me, bonus, we could do this for our bonus one. I don't know if our friends at home know this. John, this house that you might always see, John literally bought this house without me ever seeing it. I never saw this house before I stepped foot in it after we got the keys at the closing table. I actually didn't even go to closing.
You know what? When I buy spoiled celery, though, at Wegmans
He
on
gets in
Saturday
trouble.
morning,
Because you
I
don't
get
check the
sent back out.
expiration dates. You have
I can
to
buy
check.
a house. But if I
So true. He's
only
very good
have
at
a
it.
week on that organic milk, because I didn't get down on my hands and knees and get all the way to the back, there's hell to pay. We also, what's the dream thing? Stay busy. Let's just do it. Because, like you said, I can't sit down.
Yeah.
So there's not a project that's too small or too big, and I plan on doing.
We love
all of
working
them.
on clients' homes. We love working on our homes, and we love working on fresh, new projects that keep everything exciting, keep us motivated, keep us hungry, keep us
And
inspired.
if we do those projects, I can get hair plugs. This year's going to be a big hair year. I'm bringing it back.
I'm gonna just put my eyebrow gel in your hair.
You guys are all looking at it now, aren't you? Because I brought attention to it.
But don't you think it's interesting that you
Why are
bought
you
this
looking
house
at it?
without without me? Don't you think that's funny? This is our 6th home in 10 years, and I can't believe that you did this on your own, but I think that is such a great testament to what a team we are.
I know what she wants.
The best part, though, is he told me it would need no work. He said it is in mint condition. It needs no work. I don't know if you also saw the befores. Insert befores here. It was yellow. It was mustard yellow. What does he mean it didn't need any work? This kitchen was
love a good
pink.
mustard?
This kitchen was salmon. It was just, God bless the people who owned it because they gave it to us. I mean, we paid for it, but you know, you know what I was saying. Their time was
so
done,
kind of them.
so we got to come in and take
Thank
it.
you for giving us this home.
Perfect for our family. I wrote a love letter to them on our blog. Did you know that?
I know, she writes them to a lot of people. We're going to talk about that in the next question. Yeah, but if you guys look around, it just need a little work.
Need a little TLC, but he knew that, and it truly it captured the essence of our family, of the Nixon Pack, and I'm so glad that you found it for us. Best gift you've given me in our marriage. High five for that, man.
Your son's the best gift I've given you.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean best material.
Can't believe that.
I always say that. In fact, I said that a little bit.
If
we rewind, I said that before. He is my greatest gift.
Gray is her best friend.
But you didn't really give me Gray. God gave me Gray.
Please.
Gray is my best friend.
Gray's the best friend.
Yeah, and Tiny, our little Chihuahua.
Tiny Chihuahua, best friend. If Lady, I don't want to call her out. If Lady, that old bag, becomes best friend before I do.
That's our dog. Hey friends, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch with us today. We truly appreciate your time. We know how busy you are, and we thank you for being a part of the pack. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up below. And if you have any questions, comments, or you want to choose our next renovation, that would be kind of fun.
Choose it for her, and she'll give it to me, and I'll give it to you.
I'm the master whip cracker. You can leave it in the comments below. If you want to see what's ahead for the pack, stay tuned and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Kind of funny.
Wait, but I don't have like a book of funny things.
Remember that thing? Remember that thing you were doing one time? You were doing like your, oh, forget it.
It's called Vogue.
Vogue.
There's nothing to it.
Okay. All right, bring it together.
Wait. Kaylee.
No, that gets me excited.
It's always good. Look like you got abused before the shoot.
No, it's color. It's like blush. Anyway, ready? No, hey, stop. Okay.